the center. Elevated, real perspective. Real perspective. The game, the business, NIL, culture, tech.
This is 21 Titles.
21 Titles. Weekly recap. Women's sports at the center. Real perspective. Real perspective. Women's basketball. The game. The business. NIL. Culture. Tech. Thumb on.
All right. I'm really feeling that theme music, man.
Me too. Shall suspend that.
Facts. I'm sorry, y'all. I do this to Chantee on a regular, but I'm eating a plate because I'm hungry.
I understand.
I barely ate today. So if y'all see me smacking my lips, I'm going to try to go out of the screen. That's why. That's why. Man, today was a good day.
It was.
A lot of good basketball. Let's do the social media stuff and then we'll get to it, y'all.
Yeah, I just got to Twitter as well.
UConn men and Duke playing.
I'm seeing it's a good game.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Who's winning? All right. Alrighty then. Let's get it popping.
Let's get to it.
What's up, everybody? Man, another week, another Sunday, another episode.
Spin Dog was good. Shouts to Spin Dog with the theme music.
Yes, we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Well, welcome, y'all. This is episode 123 of the 21 Titles Weekly Recap. We are your host, 21 Titles. I'm Wellness Brit. This is my sidekick to the deaf. If you don't know her, take it to Done 24 on all social media. She's the one with the wits, all right? The wits and the music, all right? But yeah, we're two professionals in our own rights coming together to basically do three things. Number one, expand the visibility of women's sports with a heavy focus on women's basketball. We're going to get into March Madness today, as we always do, as we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. Wrap up the Sweet 16, Elite 8. We got our first two entries into the Final Four today. The next two will be determined tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that. Secondly, we like to connect the community to the business of sports. If you did not know, Chantee is an IP attorney, so legal is her wheelhouse, and we come on here and talk about NIL. We have some updates about the WNBA CBA, so we'll discuss some of those things. And then lastly, we kind of merge technology and culture together, which is kind of like on the edutainment side. We discuss culture and entertainment and then try to bring some like technology and education around that, because we just believe technology is a sector that is, forthcoming and is not going anywhere. So today we'll start off with some sports news, get into to March Madness, and then we'll kind of divvy on into the business of sports, NIL, and then we'll finish with some culture. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We got some numbers back
Yeah.
from the NCAA tournament, which is fire. This is the first round was the second most consumed first round ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Y'all see the numbers. They speak for themselves. Like, everybody's watching women's basketball. Everybody's tapped in. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised. I'm not shocked.
I'm not either. And
But
I mean, this just makes it more fitting that this year they started the unit system, right?
exactly. The unit system, then we got the media rights deal. The numbers are going to continue to elevate. So continue to watch. And some continue to watch. These have been great games. We're going to get into them shortly. But these numbers are amazing. Look at the peaks. The peaks are 1.1 million. So
it's continuing.
Everybody's watching.
It's continuing to crescendo. And I don't see anything that's going to slow this down anytime soon with all the talent that we have in college. I mean, we're going to talk about the remarkable game Hannah had, which was definitely an instant classic.
I mean, you might as well just jump right into it. Like,
yeah,
because that's the next thing for us to talk about is the Sweet 16. So, you know, Notre Dame pulled off the upset against Vanderbilt. And I know I didn't have Notre Dame this deep in my bracket.
No.
I think I speak for a large amount of people in saying I think a lot of us did not. But these have been huge, beyond huge wins for their program, for Niele Ivy, for that whole program. Again, I don't think a lot of us seen this coming. Yeah, right. Hannah quite literally has been putting her team on her back.
Yeah.
That young lady is a true competitor. In short, that young lady is a true competitor. And it is a breath of fresh air to see someone as hungry as she is compete at this level.
Yes.
Where we see a lot of people jumping ship, a lot of players jumping ship when, you know, teammates leave, new NIL opportunities at different universities, the transfer portal being a thing, money being a motivating factor. To see this young lady stay 10 toes where she started, pushing through adversity and remaining as hungry as she was when she initially came to this university, is remarkable. It's rare.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's rare air up there.
Yes. Truly. And coming into this game against Vanderbilt, we already knew Michaela Blake's how she gives it up. Another Jersey kid, walking bucket. You had Aubrey Galvin, freshman, been having a remarkable freshman year. Expecting her to show up the same way. But this is the first time Vanderbilt has been to the Sweet 16 in over 2 decades. And I think the experience piece matters. I think that mattered in this game. outside of Hannah just being hungry, I wasn't. I was. I'll go so far. I'm not even going. I also expected Washington on Vanderbilt
Mm-hmm.
to have a good game. I feel like she could have been an X factor in this game. But she was non-existent a little bit. And excuse me, just Notre Dame's defense outside of Hannah obviously putting a bunch of pressure on the ball throughout the entire game. Vanderbilt was coughing up the ball
Left
in
and
the
right.
first half, left and right. Like quite literally left and right. They finished with 23 turnovers. You're not going to win a game off 23 turnovers.
That's a lot.
Yeah, she is a shark. She's going to give you her all on both ends of the floor for the entire 40 minutes. The entire 40.
Yeah. She doesn't take plays off. That's the crazy thing. Like, usually when you have a star player, the star player kind of coast, right? They take plays off. You know, they kind of fall by the wayside. They get a little complacent. But it's like Hannah Hidalgo is relentless. Like, the tenaciousness she plays with is like something you would love for your team to play with all the time, but sometimes they don't, right? But it's like Hannah just understands the magnitude of the moment. She's not gonna back down. So I mean, she almost had a quadruple double, dog. Like 31 points, 10 steals. She set a Division I record for steals in a game. Okay, that's 10 steals. Okay, 11 rebounds and 7 assists. She had 3 turnovers, but I mean, incredible stat line. Shot 14 of 15, 14 for 25 from the field, which is incredible. And she's just the engine. She's the engine that makes everything go, yo. Like, it's really just impressive to watch her play. I think Rebecca Lobo said today, I can't find a woman comparison to her, a comp. I don't have a
Did I
comp for
not?
her.
I mean,
I think you said this.
I
You
just
said
was like,
this.
it's hard to like on
Yeah,
both ends of the floor, just
yeah,
straight up seeing red on both ends. It's really hard. It's difficult to compare her. Yeah, she's super well conditioned. She don't get tired.
right.
And
And
even if she is tired, you would never really know because she's gonna keep pushing
yeah,
because she's just so she's hungry. I would hate to play against her. I would hate to play against her.
you
Would
took
love
the
to
amount of
have her on my team, but I would hate to play against her
yeah, yeah.
because
She's
she's gonna try to find a way. She's never gonna give up. She's never going to give up.
yeah,
And with that, I was really surprised that Vanderbilt came out so unsettled. Even though, yes, they have been coming out looking real shaky within the last few days, like games.
mm-hmm.
I would have hoped that they would have came out a little differently this game. Notre Dame was doing a great job capitalizing off of transitions
Right,
from the steals that Hannah was racking up. Honestly, the whole team was just playing great defense. Really forcing Vanderbilt to take bad shots, forced shots. And yeah, Michaela Blake's had a rough, at least a rough first half. She had a rough first half. I think she was like 1 or 2 for 12 or something like that. Something to that effect. She didn't have a great first half. That speaks to Notre Dame's defense. Like completely took her out of her game for that first half. Galvin was really the main person, mainly in the second quarter, who started coming alive for Vanderbilt.
And I think this is also too like the point of experience, right? Like Galvin, Blake's, they are sophomores. Excuse me, Galvin is a freshman. Michaela is a sophomore. So it's a little bit inexperienced, but sometimes you meet the moment, and they just did not meet the moment. They did not meet the moment. Oh, I'm sorry if y'all hear my people in the background, because I think UConn just won at the buzzer over Duke. So, but yeah, and you kind of seen that today. We're going to talk about, obviously, UCLA, right? UCLA came out so unsettled, but they got 6 seniors on their team. So I think that kind of allowed them to rally and be like, yo, let's go. We can get this done. So we're going to see more of Vanderbilt. I mean, they're going to continue to be a force to reckon with in the, you know, in the SEC. But Hannah and her momentum kind of just, it took over.
It will continue to. Shouts to Notre Dame. We're going to get to the games today, but again, we're recapping Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 games, some of them that started today. So next up, we had UConn beating UNC 63-42. Sarah Strong, 21 points. AZ Fudd, 10 points. Quinones, 16. I feel like we've spoken about Quinones. The thing about UConn is like they are so deep as a team. That's one of their problems when facing up against them. Just because one has a bad game, that don't mean they're all gonna have a bad game. Somebody's gonna step up. And so yeah, AZ didn't show up big for them offensively. She shot 4 for 12 from the field.
Yeah.
But Sarah Strong and Quinones showed up.
Yep.
And then on UNC side, we talked about Navarre. She was the only one in double digits for UNC, and quite frankly, that wasn't enough to beat a UConn.
Yeah, the other girls that had great games the previous games did not have good games. So Lainey Grant did not have a good game, and they needed her to have a good game. And then Elena Arnisalo, she played 35 minutes, only had 2 points. So that tells you how much she struggled that game. But that's the name of the game. You know, you got to trust your body of work, but sometimes shots not going to fall. And sometimes it's in the big moments that they don't fall. So UNC, Navarre tried to put up a good fight for them, but it wasn't enough. Again, UConn's too deep, too tough.
And they started off pretty well though against them. UNC was keeping up, and then
they break loose,
and then it's over after that.
There's a separation.
Yeah. So that was that game. Also on Friday, we had UCLA beating Minnesota 80-56. Shouts to Minnesota. I feel like they've had a great few years with Amaya Battle and crew. She's a senior, so she is finished. I don't think Braun is a senior, so they'll still have her, I believe. But in this matchup, they were missing Amaya. She only had 6 points. She shot 3 for 16 from the field. She still showed up in other ways. She had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, but they didn't have enough offensively to keep up with UCLA. You have 4 players on UCLA in double digits. Kiki Rice having the high at 21. The turnovers for both teams were pretty low, but the shooting percentage, like Minnesota typically shoots fairly well from the field. And they did not that evening.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. You saw them crying after the game. It's tough watching the players. Sad that their season's ending. Somebody got to lose, but it was still sad. But yeah, shouts to Minnesota. They've had a remarkable season. Nothing to hold their head down about. They've had a great season, a great few seasons, and interested to see how they do too next year.
Yeah, I mean they in the Big Ten. They gonna figure it out. At least they got beat by their Big Ten sister. So either way, they were gonna get that unit.
No, I say it goes back to the whole conference. So I guess that is like a positive.
Yeah. So
but yeah, so that was UCLA and Minnesota on Friday. And then Duke beat LSU 87-85. This was a good game.
Yes.
It was a good game. This was like Duke's revenge. They lost to LSU during the season. Early in the season, Malaysia for Wiley. Yeah, that's it. Because she does great coming off the bench. You know how some people be like, oh no, I want to start. Like some players, even players that we've played against and played with, they're like, oh no, I want to be a starter. Oh, da, da, da. Some players just do better coming off the bench, and that's okay.
Right. Right.
And for Malaysia, that works. She is the spark that any coach would want to come off the bench and ignite their team. And that is what Malaysia does and did do for LSU this season. She would quite literally come in the game and have game highs, team highs, or the high for the team. And that's what happened when they played against Duke on Friday. She ended with 28 points. She shot 11 for 17 from the field, which is great. She had 4 rebounds, 4 assists. She had 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block. She was quite literally keeping them in the game. And they needed it badly. LSU was very sloppy early on. They had hella turnovers very early on. Wasn't taking care of the ball. Flau'jae, I expected more from Flau'jae. I'll say that.
I'll echo those sentiments.
Yeah, I wanted to see more from Flau'jae. She ended with 13, shot 6 for 15 from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 turnover. Her last bucket was in the third. She didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. I wanted I wanted more, and LSU needed more from her. Mayor, she's had an amazing season
Yeah.
at Duke. This is like her last 2 years. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Mayor. She's been showing up big for Duke. Her numbers have steadily increased year to year. Her decision making has gotten a lot better. I will say that throughout the course of her 4 years at Duke. I mean, well, her time at Duke. um, she's become, in my opinion, more reliable, more confident.
Yeah.
She had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Great stat line. Ashlyn Jackson, she sealed the deal. We seen it. She sealed the deal.
Ooh.
On the right side against Florget. That hurts. That hurts.
And you know why it hurts? Because that's the same player Florget hit the 3 over in the game in the regular season. She hit it over Ashlyn Jackson. And the fact that Ashlyn Jackson got her back on that, crazy. But I've always told y'all that tournament time is redemption time. It's a time to get your lick back. All the teams that beat you during the season, it's time to get your lick back. And study the film, see what you did wrong, and execute the game plan. Did Florget winning the championship her freshman year make her too hot too early? She has such a good game, but there have been a handful of important games where I question where Florget is. That is a great question. I'm gonna say yes. Because obviously that set the bar very high for her, right? Winning it out the gate like that. So a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure. But it's like, despite all of that, you are a competitor, right? And as a competitor that you're supposed to show up to big games. This game, her and Michaela just had no urgency whatsoever. It's like, again, they talked about how during the season, Kim Mulkey had to talk to Michaela and be like, yo, you're coasting. She got benched a couple of times this season because she was coasting and not maximizing her full effort. And that's why we say Hannah's so special, because Hannah is a superstar who doesn't let up. She continues to push the needle at every chance that she gets, and everybody doesn't have a motor like that, right? So, like, just from that last game with Michaela and Florget, I needed to see much more urgency from them too, and it was non-existent. So I'm gonna say, yeah, she got hot too early, and then it's like, we expect you to be here, and then sometimes you playing right here, and it's like, what? We expect a lot out of you, Florget, because you expect a lot out of yourself too, right? I mean, you had the whole rant with her mom going on social media and doing, and that came back to bite her, because Lord, the internet, how they took that and ran. Okay, but besides that, I think I'm gonna say yes to that question. Great question, Swindog.
Yeah. I don't got much else to say about that other than, again, shouts to Malaysia, because she has held down LSU more than a little bit throughout the season. And I love just how she's gotten better in a short period of time. the decision making has gotten better over the course of less than 5 to 10 games. You're not seeing her do too many passes in the air. You're not seeing that. You're seeing her ask for a pick, read the defense, come off close, shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
The decision making skills are getting better. And I like to see that. She's shooting great. Was shooting great at the three. I love to see that too. She still has a lot of growing to do, but we see the potential. The fact that, again, a lot of people were like, oh, we don't know if she made the right decision. She did what she thought was best.
Right.
She came to LSU and was holding the team down, like I said, on more than one occasion throughout the course of the season. So obviously, even before she got to LSU, we saw her skill set. And I'm just hoping that next season she's doing the work over the summer to come into her last season.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Facts.
Because like I'm saying, like the improvement that she's made in a short period of time has been really cool to see.
I would like for her to work on left-hand layups.
Yes. Which, you always talk about, and it's funny because we heard the commentators today. I don't know if you heard them. I don't even know if that was Rebecca. I don't know who it was. It was just like, are players making left-hand layups anymore on the left side? I don't know who said it, but I heard it today. And I was just like...
Yeah, because despite her playing well in that game, the last shot she took could have kind of sealed the deal for LSU. That last layup, she did not have to go on the right side of the floor to shoot that layup. She could have stayed on the left side and just kind of shielded the defender and went up and took but I think she got to learn how to not always go for a home run. She's always trying to go for the home run and go for a single, right? Don't go for the touchdown. Go for let's get the first down. Like, it seems like, there's nothing wrong with being a hero. Nothing wrong. But sometimes I think they overcomplicate things. Yes, a Euro step looks nice. Yeah. Yeah, I want the ESPN highlight. Okay. But I'd rather y'all just make the layup instead of trying to be all fancy. She could have just took a left-hand layup and LSU could be up by 3. And then Ashlyn Jackson hits the shot and they go to overtime. So that's my only critique.
Yeah. So that was LSU and Duke on Friday. We are moving on to Saturday's games. We had Louisville and Michigan. Michigan came up with the win, 71-52. The coin flipped because Louisville came out strong. I don't want to. I always butcher her name, but the big girl on Louisville. She's the glue of that.
Just say glue. That's her last name.
Right. And she's quite literally the glue of the team.
Yes.
She was the heart of that team this season. She had a great game. She had 18 points, shot 8 for 12 from the field, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. But she was the only player in double digits for Louisville, and that's the problem. Amari Berry, I was expecting more from her. She had 7 points, shot 3 for 13 from the field. Didn't have a great shooting night. Roberts didn't have a great shooting night, 3 for 11. nobody really shot well. They shot 35% from the field. They had 18 turnovers. Michigan started to pick it up in the second. They started shooting better from the three. Olsen was in foul trouble in the second, and she took a seat. But who really did it for Michigan was Delphos.
Yes.
She came off the bench. Like, the sparks off the bench are important also during this time of year.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to play. You got to be ready to contribute. Bottom line. And Delphos did that. She played 22 minutes, but she came in. She had 10 points, shot 4 for 5 from the field, had 8 rebounds, 2 assists. She had 2 turnovers, okay, but she had 2 blocks. Real productive, real active. And yeah, Michigan was up by 17 at the end of the third. They went on a 20-2 run, and it was over after that.
Done.
You're done. Again, keep it in mind that only one Louisville player was in double digits. When you have Swartz, Olsen, and Delphos in double digits.
Yeah. I mean, Michigan, they showed up when they needed to.
Yeah.
They needed to go on that run. They pulled it out. Delphos she got the game ball because without her, they was not winning that game. So really nice to see the bench producing. Like, my first 2 years, I came off the bench. Loved it because I'm coming in to help give a push, a spark, like Chantee said. So, and you got to be ready. Like, if you just come in to play 8 minutes, come in, get 2 rebounds, do something, be impactful, because you're not going to get that many chances. I remember this is just a funny story because, right, I'm a freshman. We're playing Duke in the Sweet 16. I get subbed in. Mind you, before the game, Coach Stringer tells everybody, if you come in the game, make sure you understand what you're doing. Okay? Make sure you understand defensive assignment. Make sure you understand what offense we're running. Me, freshman, coming the game, head and blinders. Okay? I know I only played 3 minutes because I missed the defensive assignment. I missed a big defensive assignment. I got subbed out as fast as I got subbed in. Coach Stringer pulled me to the side and said, "You missed the assignment we asked you to get." And I proceeded to sit on the bench.
Because ain't no time for it. Ain't no time. And you even saying defensive lapses like that brings me back to us talking about Vanderbilt. It's just not just Vanderbilt, but just in general, to your point. Like, in this time of the year, there's a small room for error. Because it can cost you the game.
Absolutely.
It can cost you the game. It can come back to bite your ass in the fourth. Every little thing matters. So that's funny, but it speaks to like what we're talking about now, and then also what we've been watching throughout the course of the tournament. Those small things, they matter. They matter. The missed layups, the missed free throws, the not, talking on defense, the missed assignments on defense,
and
the foul trouble. Everything matters.
And dare I say, if y'all watched that last play with from LSU with Ashlyn Jackson hitting that shot, Florget tried to go for the steal, and she went for the steal with the wrong hand. Mind you, She
Not
went with her
inside.
inside hand instead of
Did
the
she go with the
outside
inside?
hand.
Okay, I'm about to say. Okay.
Yeah, she went with her inside hand instead of going with her outside hand.
Mm-hmm.
And those costly seconds, toilet bowl roll.
Yeah, that's also like the theatrics of it all. Like March is gonna march. March Madness is going March Madness. The fact that the ball spun took its time. It's sweet time to get to the bottom. It hurts. That hurts. That's part of the hurt. But nah, yeah, all of that matters. It all matters.
It does.
But yeah, so moving on. Now we on Saturday. We got we still on Saturday. Kentucky and Texas. Texas won 76-54.
Texas came out smoking.
I'm about to say they look like a well-oiled machine on Saturday. They looked like a well-oiled machine on Saturday. You had Madison Booker shooting well. She wasn't in foul trouble, I think, which is also important for Texas. You had Jordan Lee shooting well, and then you had Roy Harmon. Bottom line. As far as rebounds, you know, Texas out rebounded Kentucky 29-38. I mean, it's all like I said, it's hard because Texas was shooting 54% from the field. They would shoot well from the field.
You shoot that high, it's hard to catch up.
It is. Barbara Strack, she finished with 16. Just wasn't enough. They shot 19 for 51 from the field. Kentucky, they didn't shoot well. Texas is another like deep team. They're another deep team.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're clicking, and like I said, Madison's not in foul trouble and she's shooting well. And then you got them bigs. It's a problem. Them bigs are a problem.
Yeah.
Them bigs are a problem. I stand by that. You got Old Acre. You got Carlton, my girl Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
Cunningham. Yeah, and I'm gonna throw, even though she's not a bit Aaliyah Crump, she's part of
she bumping.
She's bumping with you.
Yeah.
And she's gonna give you a spark off the bench too. She can give you buckets too. So like Texas is a deep team. And when they're clicking, they are very hard to beat. Spendock is funny. Yeah, they was clicking.
Right.
They was clicking. There's nothing you could do. So that's how that went. That's the end of Kentucky's run. And then we had South Carolina, Oklahoma, which is what a lot of people were waiting for, because as we know, Oklahoma beat South Carolina OT.
Right.
You know, Aaliyah Chavez was getting buckets in OT to hold her team down the last go around with these two. So it's get back season, like Brittany said. It's get back season. And that's what happened. South Carolina won 94-68. Tanaya looked great.
She sure did.
She did. I went back and watched the game today. I had to go back. And there was one specific play in the first quarter. I was like, yo, it's giving for the state.
Tanaya. Mm-hmm.
When she went to the basket, it just I see the play in my head, which is why I paused. But like it was giving old Tanaya. She came out super aggressive on old very early. You know, Raven Johnson was locked in. I don't expect anything different from her. She's the floor general. At this point in time, Raven is going to she's gonna show up as the floor general she is from now until the end of this season for South Carolina. Um, Tessa started heating up crazy in the third.
Yeah.
She started heating up. She ended with 14 points. Tonight ended with 28. She had high. Tonight had 28. She shot 7 for 11 from the field, 10 for 10 from the free throw line, 5 assists. Raven, 18 points, shot 8 for 11 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers, 1 steal. And then Makir, again, a spark off the bench. It's important. She came off the bench, had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I don't know what else to say. Oklahoma was trading a lot of baskets towards like the second half. With South Carolina, you can't trade baskets. You got to get a stop. And then you need to score, and then you need to get another stop against South Carolina. You can't trade baskets with them. And so that's what was happening. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And she was hooping. She was hooping, though. But they are different. It was a smoke show. There you go. It was a smoke show. It was a smoke show. And so yeah, I'm interested to see how South Carolina does in their next matchup. They are playing against TCU. I got South Carolina winning that game.
Yeah.
I got South Carolina winning that game. But yeah, this was the end of Oklahoma and South Carolina. Then we had TCU against Virginia. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted Virginia to beat TCU. I did.
Yeah,
They're the underdog.
I wanted them to finish.
Yeah, they're the underdog.
Yeah.
I love this visual we saw too. Of like Dawn congratulating her alma mater. I love that.
Fire.
It is fire. But they came up short, 69-79. Paris Clark, shouts to you. 20 points. She had high for her team. 20 points. Shot 6 for 10 from the field. 3 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals. Kamora Johnson, another floor general. 18 points. She didn't shoot super well from the field. Shot 7 for 22. Had 6 rebounds, 8 assists. She had 4 turnovers and 2 steals. They was really missing Samaya.
Yeah.
They were missing Samaya. No, they did make it interesting down the stretch. They did. Go ahead, Brittany. I didn't know if you was about to say something.
I mean, I feel like Marta Suarez had a redemption game because she really didn't play well in the game before this, so she needed to come out really big, and she did. She had 33 points. I mean, oh girl, I told you last game she was the most hyped person after that game because she knew that she didn't play well and that they pulled it out. So this was a great bounce back game for Marta Suarez. She played really, really well. I'm gonna just say it, like, if I appreciate Olivia, but I'm telling y'all If she was to taunt me like that on the court, I'm knocking her head off. I'm telling y'all that right now.
You talking about when she did that
Yeah,
joint with against Paris?
yo,
I'm like, yo, she's
yo.
spicy. It also gets spicy during this time. It's like,
Oh yeah, it get real
and
spicy.
she having fun. Listen, she was out there having a blast.
Look, don't have fun.
But yeah, don't have one on me.
Have too much fun. Okay, because I would have been tight if I seen that. You know, she did it on the little side after she did the layup, but yeah, man. Woo. Yeah, Jen's picks and
I gotta go check out.
Crazy.
Yo.
Like I'm lucky to be in third place right now because I've been at the bottom of the bracket.
I'm scared to look. I didn't look. I haven't looked. After like the second round, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
Bracket? No.
But yeah. TCU, yeah, Suarez. 33. It's crazy. That's all I got. It was crazy. But congratulations to Virginia. Hell of a run. Cinderella team. Nobody really had y'all getting this far.
For sure.
Y'all definitely made it very interesting. This game, throughout the course of this whole tournament, they have nothing to hold their heads down about or low about. Yeah, great job. Great season.
Facts. Shout out to my former coach, Coach Huey, on the Virginia staff. Y'all had an incredible season. I mean, shout out to Paris Clark, Big Bronx.
Big Bronx.
I hope to see her continue her journey. I think she's a great player. And I want to see her as a pro. I think she has a chance to if she does not get drafted by the WNBA, she has a chance to go overseas and make a name for herself and eventually make her way into the WNBA. So much love to Paris Clark. Also to Raina Scott, I forgot to say that, from Oklahoma. Raina Scott is also another New York player. She played at Louisville. She was at Oklahoma, transferred to Louisville this year. Season's over, but just wanted to shout out some of the New York girls. So shout out to Raina Scott, shout out to Paris Clark. Loved watching y'all play this year, and hopefully we'll see y'all on the professional stage.
Yes. And then that brings us to today. UConn versus Notre Dame. I wanted to start off with Gino. Let me see if I can. And what he has to say about Hannah.
So you mentioned Hannah, I'm presuming, as one of the best point guards in the country in your view.
Not one of the best. I think she is the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does a player with that grit for all 40 minutes do for the game of women's basketball?
For people that are not familiar with South Jersey, that's just Philadelphia East, right? So she's got a little bit of that toughness, and grit, like you said, and talent. And it's rare that you find a player that is involved in every single play, to the point where you have to, whoever she's guarding, you have to go hide them someplace, hoping that she's not involved in that play. And she still manages to be involved in the play somehow, some way. So not only offensively can she get wherever she wants to go, get any shot she wants, but defensively, she probably causes more problems for your offense than any player in the country. I mean, you can deal with a shot blocker. You can deal with that. But you cannot deal with someone that every time you're dribbling the ball you're more worried about where she is than who you're passing it to. I just love watching her, and I asked her after the game if she was old enough to go pro, and she said, "No, I want one more shot of you guys." So,
Mm, mm, mm.
That girl's a killer. You hear, AKA in summary, to put it all together, that girl's a killer. Certified machine. That's what he's saying. Yes, he would, but respectfully, Mr. S.E. Brad, I need you to come to the front of the stage. Because respectfully, that young lady's built different. That's what we started off talking about. If y'all just tapping in with us, but the motor's high. We've already said all the things at the beginning of this episode, but like again, pleasure to play with, would hate to play against, and that is essentially also what Gino was saying. Gino respect, he understands.
Right.
Game recognizes game. One of the most winningest coaches, making it very clear she's the best guard in the country.
Right.
He ain't wrong. The girl's gonna get, like we said, the girl gonna give her all for 40 straight minutes. And once you get the ball, you better look around.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing. Dribbling the ball, and we saw that even with Vanderbilt. As soon as it's not even just a big, as soon as anybody put that ball on the floor, she's part of the collapse on defense. And once she get her hands, you don't see her. Yeah, she's really her. I'm reading Jody. Yeah, like exactly. She's really her. Like, she's a true competitor. The fact that she told Gino, nah, like,
I want y'all one more time.
I want to go again.
Yeah.
Mr. S.E. Brand. Nah, he said he ain't. What's the question? I didn't get it. No, because you said earlier, I think what Spendock was referring to was your comment earlier about, you said something about Hannah's antics. I don't think she got any antics. She be trying to, she's trying to win the game.
Yeah, that yelling and screaming, that's not antics. That's passion.
That's right.
That's I got it. All right.
Right.
Like, that's passion, because she's been like that since high school, y'all.
Yes.
Like, we see the old clips. They showed old clips of her and Michaela from high school, right? This is a rivalry that's stemmed from high school into college. So that's big Jersey. Jersey was represented very well on the stage. And that's just, you don't see that fire from kids like that no more. Like, I love when I see kids wear their heart on their sleeves, because I was one of those players. Like, my coach used to always get on me. She's like, yo, Brittany, you gotta have a poker face. I'm like, I could never, Coach Stringer.
But what's the that young lady on their bench that they had the little segment talking about how she was working with Hannah and her passion, and not necessarily controlling her emotions, but somewhat, like, I forget who's on their bench, on Notre Dame's bench, that they mentioned.
Was it Sherelle Allen?
Yes, thank you.
Also, let me say, I played against Sherelle Allen. What? Hooper. Okay, so yeah, Sherelle, mentors.
Yeah, and talking about regulation and all of that, but not regulating the like we want the passion, and we want to make sure that you're still controlled, and that's what that conversation was about. That little segment was about. But It's not antics. That's what we need to see. We need to see more of that. We need to see that you care
Yeah,
about winning.
Mhm. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Because yeah.
Right.
Northern, I mean, UConn, they didn't come out super strong today.
Yeah.
Izzy Fudd and Sarah Strong, they didn't come out smoking hot today. Quinones, again, spark off the bench, came off hot today. She had 12 points after the first quarter. She
Yeah.
finished the first half with 14 points. Like I said, Fudd and Strong were quiet, but because UConn is so deep,
Yeah.
they're a tough matchup. Okay, Hannah is guarded, let's just say AZ or another guard. You got Sarah Strong, who's a point forward who could bring the ball up and do it. She can run the offense. That's a problem.
Mhm.
Because as great as Hannah is on both ends of the floor, she can't guard everybody.
Right.
Then you got Quinones. She coming off the bench. Not only is she rebounding, she's cleaning up in the paint. She's hitting threes.
Yeah. She
It
was
is. She was on fire. It's just really hard to guard UConn. Then you got Alfie, who, Alfie played a lot last season.
right.
That's how I got introduced to her.
Mhm.
But last season she came up big for them in the tournament. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's a big body. She's another one that's focused, and she's gonna do what she needs to do in that paint, and that's what happened today.
Yeah. She came in 7 minutes. She did what she had to do.
It's hard. Then you got Sarah Williams. She didn't
Mhm.
have a great game today, but that's another person you got to worry about in the paint.
Yeah. Yeah. They deep.
UConn can go big. They can go small and big. It's they a trick bag. They a trick bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Notre Dame was still fighting. Hannah still did what she needed to do. She had 22 points, had 11 rebounds, had 3 assists. She had 5 turnovers, but fine. She had 3 steals. UConn's defense started to pick up. Once that happens, it's a long night too.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame just ran out of gas. They didn't have anybody else that put up anybody else in scoring double figures. So I mean, it's gonna be a long night, and I hope they get some people to surround her next year.
I have no doubt they're gonna do that.
So I'm looking forward to how Notre Dame uses the transfer portal this year,
Yeah.
and what recruits they got coming in next year. Like I want to
Yeah.
know who is Niel bringing in.
This will be Hannah's senior year.
Yeah, so this is an
So
amazing year for her. This is a big deal. So shout out to Notre Dame. Y'all did
amazing season.
yeah, y'all did.
Amazing season.
I
Tip
mean,
my hat off to you because I did not have you coming this far. I'll be the first to say it. Didn't have you coming this far.
yeah,
Shouts to Hannah putting the team on your back. Putting the team on your back and leading. You are
yeah,
upperclassmen. You seen her in the huddles. You seen her talking to her teammates, directing. We love to see that too. Just being an upperclassman. Shouts to Notre Dame.
yeah. Hannah definitely got that Kobe energy. She got the the Mamba energy for sure.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. UConn will be playing, like we said, the winner of TCU in South Carolina. Yeah. And I got some, like we talked about that. I got South Carolina winning. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. And then lastly, we had UCLA beating Duke 70-58. Lauren Betts, listen,
Get out the way.
they were just dominant. She was dominant. That's it. Period. Lauren Betts was very dominant. She had 23 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. But Dugalich, when she starts shooting, it's hard to stop. She didn't shoot well from the 3, but once she starts to shoot fairly decent or well from the perimeter,
Dugalich get the game. She get the game ball today.
yeah, she does.
Dugalich.
Because outside of her and Lauren, all their points, all UCLA's points at one point was in the paint.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a dominant performance by Lauren Betts. That's all I got. Again, we talk about Taina Mayer on Duke. She had a phenomenal tournament run, season. Yeah. She had a phenomenal season. She finished with 21 points, shot 50% from the field, had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. Jody said, I can't wait for UCLA to lose. They all look so much older than the other teams.
Yeah, I mean they got 6 seniors on their team.
Yeah, no. Jody funny. But yes.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, Sienna's only a freshman and she looked dumb old. Like Lauren's sister, she looked mad old.
Sienna's big too. She's huge.
She's huge. Jeez.
So, and grad students, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
that is. Oh, go ahead.
No, UCLA was looking kind of flat in the beginning. They can't start like that in the Final Four. They got to come out and get the ball rolling. Yeah, you said that before.
You talking about Mr. S.E.
Price, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just hope they show up and don't play like they did in the first half, because they play like that. No bueno. No bueno. I don't care who you playing against in the Final Four. They not gonna let up. So shout outs to UCLA for getting back to the Final Four. They went back to back. So that's a great accomplishment for them. Let's see what they do.
We shall see. So that was our recap on just Sweet 16 and some of the Elite 8 over the weekend. So now we are going to switch over to the business of sports. We got some news about the Connecticut Sun sale. I mean, we've been having these conversations now for close to 2 years.
Yeah.
But we got some news yesterday that the Fertittas are going to be purchasing the Connecticut Sun and relocating them to Houston, and they will then become the Houston Comets. So this is a resurgence of the Houston Comets.
Yeah.
In short, this will be the last season. This upcoming season will be the last season for the Connecticut Sun. Back almost, like we said, two years ago. Almost 2 years ago. We had the Mohegan Tribe looking to sell the Connecticut Sun to 2 gentlemen. One wanting to move the team to Boston, another wanting to move it to Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them willing to pay $325 million, which would have included a relocation fee. At the time, allegedly, Kathy Engelbert was approached by the Mohegan tribe and was like, hey, we have these two potential deals.
Mm-hmm.
One for Boston, one for Hartford. And allegedly, Kathy did not tell the Board of Governors about the Boston deal.
Mm-hmm.
And allegedly, the W wasn't okay with Boston getting the relocation. Allegedly, I'm gonna keep saying allegedly because we don't know. Allegedly, the W felt like if we give Boston the Connecticut Sun for $325 million, they'll be getting it at a discounted rate. And if we wait until about 2030, the expansion fees and relocation costs would be much higher than what they are now. So why give Boston the Connecticut Sun at a discounted rate? But we could argue that they gave the Fertitta family the Connecticut Sun at a discounted rate because it's reported that the Fertittas paid $300 million to relocate the Connecticut Sun to Houston. But the Board of Governors and the W decided to waive the relocation fee associated with that, which is interesting because if in fact, they were worried about the money, why not collect that relocation fee? It's just all interesting. But yeah, so long story less long, the Connecticut Sun will be heading to Houston, which is great for Houston fans. The resurgence of Houston, the history of Houston Comets, I think a lot of us was waiting for this. If you were a WNBA fan, you're very familiar with how things were handled with Houston. Just the richness of the organization, the winning of the organization. So this was a good win. This is a win for Houston. It just also sucks that New England won't have a team. It sucks that even like government officials was trying to get in on to really help support this Connecticut Sun sale happening for Boston or Hartford to keep it in that area. So it sucks for the fans. It sucks for the people that work for the Connecticut Sun organization. Yes, it's business, but
I don't think this was business done the right way.
I mean,
it's because they kind of like blocked the potential sale for them to move either to Hartford or Boston because it wasn't their priority. It wasn't the W's priority. So it's almost like the W was saying, hey, we're giving y'all the illusion that y'all can participate in a free market, but not really. We control.
And they do. They do. The W controls. Yes. The W has centralized control. That's exactly what I put down. They have they do. And I guess as a potential owner, that's something you have to consider with the W. Even with the Mohegan tribe, because it still has to like, great, you want to sell to an independent buyer, that still has to run through the W, that still has to go through the board of governors. They decide if this potential buyer is the right buyer for their market and you know, in their plans. So and that's what I mean by yes, it's business. I think it's interesting that some of these reports are saying like the W reportedly said like, hey, if you want to keep the Connecticut Sun where it's at in Ucansville, we'll let you keep it. I just it's just interesting. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, after looking at like previous reports that Brittany and I like read and discussed on Beyond the 9450, the W already had plans of bringing back a team to Houston.
Right.
You
Like
know,
they
Kathy
spoke
is. Say that again.
She kind of hinted at that. Like
She
they
said
are.
it. She was like, they next up. Like she kept
Right.
saying that they were next up. But I thought it would be in the form of expansion,
Right.
not
Right.
relocation.
Right. Right.
And
It's really kind of bittersweet because, like, yes, we getting the Houston Comets back, but that's on the backs of the Connecticut Sun. Like, and why couldn't y'all just leave the Connecticut Sun and then expand it to Houston?
right. Again, given a discounted rate
Right.
to the Fertitas, because they, you know, a lot of reports, the W is making it seem like they allegedly care more about the money, like the money piece and not being shortchanged. But if that was the case, you know what I'm saying? Y'all wouldn't have waived relocation fees and stuff like that. So what was the motivation? I don't know. What we are and have been seeing is that there's a trend happening where more independent WNBA teams that don't have brother teams, aka NBA teams, attached, are like becoming smaller and smaller as the league continues to expand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got the Atlanta Dream is still an independent franchise. Chicago Sky is still an independent franchise. We also got Win This Week that the NBA is looking to potentially expand to Seattle and Las Vegas. So long story less long, we're seeing like that if you have a WNBA team, you're more than likely going to be paired with an NBA team, which, you know, has its benefits for marketing purposes and all that. But we've also seen throughout the course of like WNBA history, not many NBA owners give the time, the effort, and intention necessary to run both the NBA team and then the WNBA team. We've seen it.
Yes.
We've reported on it. It's been reported. So I would hope that, especially now with the CBA and the rules of the CBA, that this will keep NBA owners accountable with having to stick by the facility requirements, all those requirements and things listed in the CBA. That's going to hold them accountable and hopefully make them have to show up in a more intentional space and way when it comes to their WNBA counterparts.
Yeah.
I also want to say it seems like, you know, the NBA's viewership has been low. I always think it's very interesting how a lot of people will be like, oh, or rather you got the fans, all type of fans. They'll be like, oh, the WNBA is riding the coattail of the NBA, and without the NBA, like you wouldn't da 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 da. And then we got reports saying that the NBA owners were mad because they losing out on money investing in the. So why they keep investing in the W?
Right.
Why? If all that, why they keep investing in the W? If it's alarming, the losses are so alarming, and there's so much in the red. Why would new potential owners look to buy WNBA teams? The
Right.
WNBA is lucrative. The future is looking bright.
For sure.
I don't believe all the hype around riding the coattail. Again, the NBA viewership is down. Women's basketball viewership is up. It is trending upward. And it's going to continue to trend upward. NBA basketball is trying to find new ways to be innovative to get people to watch. I think their salary cap is $1 million less than it was. It's set to be $1 million less than it was last year. Why is that? I don't know. So all that talk about, they riding the coattails. We can't see the books. The books are closed. So I'm just going based off what we reading. Like I don't know. They own 42% of the W. Why they ain't giving up their percentage then? If they suffering major losses.
That's a good question.
Because they ain't. It's what we talk about all the time. When you invest in something, you got to sit on it. You got to see it through for a few years.
Right. Facts.
That's just part of the game. That's part of business.
And everybody, they want that ROI. They done seen Mark Davis buy the Las Vegas Aces for $2 million.
Which is a steal. He stole that.
Oh my goodness. I still can't believe he was able to pull that off, yo.
Yeah, a steal.
A steal.
But that's what we talk about that all the time. When you invest in your players, when you invest in your organization and you provide them with the tools to be successful, you're going to see the ROI you want.
Yeah. Because he was the first owner to really be like, yo, it was him that popped off this practice facility stuff.
Yes.
Okay. The $40 million facility that he put up, then everybody, right? We still waiting for Chicago. Where you at, Chicago?
They coming because they have to. And it's a shame that the CBA got to tell you. Right? And we have seen that the better facilities, the better the team does. Because you can get real players to buy in.
Right.
To want to come there. That's part of the issue that was happening in Connecticut. We saw Marina. Marina was like, I don't want to go to Connecticut. When she got traded there from Chicago, right? She was like, I don't want to go there.
Right. Because y'all got us practicing with
this, where I got to share the gym with a child's birthday party.
Right.
That really happened.
Yes.
I'm telling them if they didn't know. So I think, now it's we went all around the world, but shout out to the CBA because it's going to even the playing field for all the teams. Right. And then back to Connecticut, shouts to Houston. That's a win for Houston, but it sucks for New England. Y'all eventually will have a team. After reading the articles, it seems like the plan is to still bring a team to Boston. But it's going to be later down the line in 2030.
Yeah. Yeah, when they jacking threes.
what's his name was just talking about this.
Richard Jefferson.
Thank you.
Yeah. Richard Jefferson had a rant. We'll post it in our stories this
week. He had a good rant.
But
it speaks to what Spendoc was just saying. Yeah, the viewership down. I mean, anyway. So that's the news about the Connecticut Sun sale. That's the update.
Proceeding on.
Yes, proceeding on. We have CBA updates. ESPN reported that there was an 11-page summary of the term sheet for the CBA. And I think it's just important to hit on some of the key points in that 11-page document. So one of the big things that ESPN reported on in the term sheet for the CBA was that the league is changing its possible end date to November 21st. So last season, the last day of the regular season was September 24th. The playoffs tipped off September 27th, and then the season was set to end at the latest October 31st. So we're getting a longer season this upcoming year.
Okay.
In 2028, the season could stretch actually to November 30th because of the Olympics. Starting in 2027, the number of possible games played will increase to up to 50 and then to 52 by 2029.
Wow.
That's so we expanding. We expanding. So the priority rules. Players will also be required to report to their respective teams earlier. Under the new CBA, beginning in 2027, players must arrive to their home markets by the later of April 15th or the start of training camp. Previously, the report date was the later of May 1st or the start of camp. Both the late November end date and the possible early report date could impact players who play overseas during the offseason. So that's important. Other items. Through salaries and benefits, the players will receive 20% of the prior year's gross revenue. The WNBPA and the WNBA were at odds for much of the negotiations, like we talked about, over which type of revenue sharing system to adopt, whether it be revenue before deducting expenses, aka gross revenue, or net. And then we talked about the 5 tiers of minimum salaries last week. The rookie minimum salary will be $270K. Players with 1 to 3 years of service will earn at least $277,500. The minimum for a player with 4 to 6 years of service will be $285K. And $292,500 for 7 to 9 years of service. But the update to this is that all of these numbers will grow each year over the course of the 7-year term by 4%, which is fire.
Yeah.
According to the CBA document, the term sheet, the average year one salary for 2026 first round picks will come in at $386K, which is up from about $75K in 2025. That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
While the rookie scale salary for the number one pick will equal more than $2.2 million over 4 years. Another thing pointed out was that the new minimum standards for practice facilities and team staffing, which is what we were just talking about, which is a priority of the players during the negotiations. So for facilities, teams are required to provide nursing rooms, and starting in 2027 must provide a family room at the team's home arena, which is something that they should have had, but here we are. Yeah. In 2028, there also are specific requirements for practice facilities. You know, they got to have a locker room with sufficient bathrooms, showers, and lockers for exclusive use by the WNBA team, a WNBA regulation basketball court available for a private and exclusive basis during its scheduled use. Again, this is something that we should have had, but here we are. What I think is one of the most important things is for the 2 new developmental player spots, which we know now they can have on each team. Players must have 3 or fewer years of service, or 4 to 5 with minutes limited are eligible. They can be activated for 12 games in 2026, which is cool too. I like that they have the developmental spots available.
Yeah.
Teams are required to allow dependent children aged 13 or younger or older at the team's discretion to travel with the team and provide an extra hotel room. 2 weeks of paid leave are now available for non-birthing parents. Teams permitted to allow more than 2 weeks. Family planning benefits are now available to players with 2+ years of service and for their partner spouses. Previously, only players with 8 or more years of service were eligible, and the benefit was not available for partners or spouses. These are things that, we've been talking about, like basic things that, these players needed, that they now have. Obviously, everything that we just discuss is not. It's just not the full telling of the whole 11-page CBA term sheet. But those were some of like the key points. And for me, the last thing that I mentioned about leave, like paid leave, and that's important. And I feel like that's something that should have been in the CBA. But again, I'm proud of the players that stand 10 toes, and the WNBPA negotiating the hell out of this so that they can have what they need to be successful on and off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this is something to fight for, right? Like, I'm glad they continue to kind of stay 10 toes down to get what they deserve, man. This is all stuff that was supposed to be already implemented, so they just getting what they deserve.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting to see how they navigate an extended season. That's a good question. I'm sure they have a plan in place, but definitely want to see how they execute.
For sure. Conflict schedule. Well, I mean, we already know the WNBA be scheduling bad with the game, so it's like, just make that a priority. They just got to work together. Together.
Which is what they need to do anyway, right? NBA owners. We're gonna see.
Now.
Yeah, we're gonna see. And with all of that, Dallas finally approved a deal for the Wings, $81 million practice facility. So,
come on,
yeah, they're about to build their $81 million practice facility. The city of Dallas actually promised to construct it a year ago, but they fell behind because the project is $27 million over budget. So, basically, yeah, it's a lot. But the Dallas City Council voted 13-2 on Wednesday to approve a revised deal. So the city of Dallas is only going to contribute $57 million for the WNBA's team's new training facility, and then the Wings are actually going to take on the rest of the cost. The new practice facility was part of the Wings' plan to move the team from Arlington to Dallas by 2026. Aside from a new facility, the Wings signed a 15-year, $19 million lease to play home games at the renovated Dallas Memorial Auditorium. Under this new revised deal, the city will continue to manage the renovation of Dallas Memorial Auditorium, but the Wings will only be able to move in by the 2028 season and will play this upcoming season at the American Airlines Center, the 20,000 seat for home for the NBA's Mavericks.
All right, now y'all see how these practice facilities they doubling up. Started with 40 million, now we up to 80. they getting lavish.
Yeah.
They
Come
getting,
on.
and I love it.
You
Yeah,
know,
give
I
me
need
one.
I need to see the update with the Chicago Sky facility.
Yeah, come on now.
But yeah, it's this on the way. We're gonna get more of these headlines very soon. So looking forward to seeing what Dallas comes up with, like the end result of those renovations and changes.
Facts.
Outside of basketball, I thought this was interesting. FIFA, we talking about with soccer. They got this rule that they established last Thursday that teams in all of its women's competitions must have a woman head or assistant coach on the bench.
I like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is cool. The rule is going to apply to next year's Women's World Cup in Brazil. At the 2023 World Cup, only 12 of 32 head coaches were female. The FIFA chief football officer, Jill Ellis, said there are simply not enough women in coaching today. We must do more to accelerate change by creating clearer pathways, expanding opportunities, and increasing the visibility for women on our sidelines. The rule approved at the FIFA Council meeting on Thursday will require at least 2 female staffers on the bench, with at least one of them at the head or assistant position. All teams competing at FIFA national and club competitions at the youth and senior levels must comply.
And you know why I think they're doing this too? Because over the course of the couple of years we've been following and reporting on women's soccer, there's been a lot of scandals and a lot of like internal abuse with these male coaches coming in and doing some nasty stuff. So I think this is also another play on that. Like we're trying to make sure that that stuff doesn't happen on our watch. So
Right.
I like that.
I think this is great. This is what intentionality looks like. Like we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to implement a rule that you have to abide by to compete at this level and at all levels, even the youth level. So I love it. I love it.
This A1. This A1.
It is like it could be simple.
Mm-hmm.
It could be simple. So shouts to FIFA.
FIFA.
We are now moving on to NIL news / college sports news. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot. There was a lot of things happening. We have a lot of updates with the transfer portal. And I'm gonna let Brittany talk about the first one. We got wind this past week that Keomi McMiller is set to leave Penn State. We just had an announcement that Tanisha Wright was going to be the head coach in the upcoming season. Keomi transferred to Penn State after 1 year, I believe, at Rutgers. And she had a great year at Penn State. She had 21.6 rebounds, 21.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. She was averaging all of that. This season, she had a great season, but she is on her way out. So wherever she lands will be her third school. I also wanted to share Coach Yo's tweet because it speaks to what I feel like you're about to talk about. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you've said this, so
I have. I mean, let me just read Coach Yo's tweet here. It says, "Ladies, where all y'all going? And for what? Don't let people gas you up. If you're valued and being developed, why leave?" Portal talk. And this has been my question throughout it all. If you're playing, got the green light, what is Okay, maybe I chasing money, but really, is the grass green on the other side? I don't know. I understand a lot of them have aspirations to be professionals and go, but like it's the flopping around is just mind-boggling to me. Like we're also seeing the exodus out of Iowa State, right? All these girls leaving Iowa State. Let me run down some names. Jada Williams, you just got there. You had a pretty decent season this year with Audie Cooks. She's leaving. Her next school will be her third school. Also, Addie Brown is leaving Iowa State. Elisa Williams is leaving Iowa State. The only person we're really looking for now is Audie Crooks. What is Audie gonna do? I mean, who is guiding these children? That's really what I want to know. Like, who's having these conversations with them about entering the transfer portal? I mean, I feel like every student athlete has a story about when they went through some adversity in school, and they probably had thoughts of transferring, right? But it's like when you talk to your counsel, you kind of weigh the options, and it just don't seem like a lot of them are in it for the right reasons or going into the transfer portal for the right reasons for me. Like, Kiyomi, you got a former WNBA coach, a former standout at Penn State. Like, she knows everything about that school. She knows how to get it to move. Why are you leaving?
DA had a comment. Fake advisors be in these players' ears. NIL, money is sad. Not saying that players shouldn't get their bag, but time to sit down, face adversity, and grow. Definitely agree. And I saw, and I don't know if this is what Dawn was saying. I think this is what Dawn was talking about. I'm about to share. Mm-hmm. She was just talking about, these athletes facing adversity. Hold on a second.
You gotta face some adversity.
Good morning, Coach Taylor. Judy Gatson from WIS. Tell me, who is the person on this team who gives...
Hold on a second. If I can find it. Oh, here we go. Sorry, y'all. There we go.
When you allow your children to grow up, it is a direct reflection of your parenting. Direct. Like if you hover over them all the time and they can't work through problems, they're going to have some issues, But you got to let them work through problems because they're working through the things that you've instilled in them. And when you allow...
I seen that and I immediately thought of, Coach Joe Sweet. You're gonna go in life, forget basketball.
Right.
So in life, you are going to face adversity. Period. No one is exempt.
Right.
And so to your point, you gotta ask yourself, or rather the DA's point, you got to ask yourself, you got to sit down and face adversity and grow. You got to ask yourself what you really want out of this experience. If it's money, Okay. I may not agree, but sure. Gotta respect it. That's what your focus is. But if it's to grow, not only as a player, but also as a person, as a young adult,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you gotta ask yourself some tough questions. Like to your point with Jada Williams. I think that's a great situation for her. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know her personally, but I think
Yeah.
that's a great situation for her. Yeah, she just got there, got the green light, had a pretty decent season. We saw Zam Jones. She's also leaving NC State.
Man.
And, I think that was a great spot for her too. But, I don't know. Again, we don't know these players personally. Um, Kiyomi, I don't know. Um, I don't know. That
I don't know.
I want to know what system she ends up in. I do. Uh, and I hope that it does work out for her. I hope that it works out for all the players entering the transfer portal. But we've seen like most of the time the grass is not greener on the other side. You are entering into a new system. You have to get acclimated with new teammates, new players, new coaching staff, all of that. You have to get say that again.
New school. Like,
Yeah, you got to get acclimated and the motion you may have had at your previous school, you may not have at this new school.
right.
Because your role may change. Other factors play a part. Other incoming players play a part. We don't like it's so many different factors that could affect your performance and your stock value because that's also a big thing. So yeah, don't let like Coach Yo Sweet say or says
Don't let them gas you, man.
don't let them gas you out your spot. Don't let them
Right.
trick you out your spot.
Right.
Get off social media.
Facts. Shut it down.
Sometimes, college is not AAU. You can hop around on travel teams where much comes and goes. Veteran leadership and team play make a difference. Movement doesn't exactly.
Right.
I mean, we talk about I think Tanai Latson's a good example. Last season she was the leading scorer in Division One. In the whole Division One, that girl was the leading scorer.
Mm-hmm.
But she went to South Carolina to not only win she wants to win. She wanted to win, but she also wanted to develop as a player. Because I think her ultimate goal is to play professionally. So, she weighed all those things and made a decision. And the things, her role at Florida State is not her role at South Carolina, but her numbers have increased.
Right.
She has grown up here as a player. So I would hope that other players are sitting down and having honest conversations with themselves and that they are surrounding themselves with people who are honest about their talent level too. That's something else. I mean,
Yeah. You gotta create a team around y'all, people that not gonna just tell y'all yes. I'm not just gonna tell y'all what y'all want to hear. Tell y'all what y'all need to hear. And keep it a buck with you. And yeah, I mean we've been seeing it. This is the beginning of the NIL. Everybody moving. Like going to 3 schools is a commonality now, which is insane. But to each his own.
so we'll see. But that's it. That's all we had today for episode 123. Thank y'all for tapping in with us. We covered a lot of ground today. We covered the games from this weekend. So the Sweet 16, the Elite 8. We talked a lot about the business of sports, CBA updates, the updates with the Connecticut Sun Sale. We covered a lot. So if you missed it while we were covering the whole thing, make sure that you watch it on replay. Make sure that you are following us on social media. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Make sure that you follow the 9450. Make sure that you follow us and keep watching the games.
Please.
The Elite 8 is still happening. Next Sunday. Yeah.
We got games tomorrow that basically punches in the next 2 slots to the Final Four.
Final Four, yeah.
Next weekend is the Final Four National Championship.
National Championship next Sunday. So it's coming fast. So make sure that y'all tapping in with that. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. We hope that y'all have an amazing night or evening. Busy day, busy April for the W. They got to crunch it, everything.
Crunch.
The draft is coming up right around the corner. So yeah, thank y'all.
And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.